if for any reason they get in, meaning the Democrats, they're going to raise your taxes way up high. They're going to terminate this out. Of course, I'll veto it. That's all right. But eventually, they want to terminate, and they want to raise your taxes. And we cannot let that happen because this country is starting to rock with our businesses coming back in. It's starting to really rock.
President Trump touting the Republican tax cuts at a roundtable with small business owners in Florida today, saying Democrats, if they get in power, they will raise your taxes. Let's bring in Republican Congresswoman of Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn. So is that true? Democrats are going to raise our taxes if they get back control of, say, the House?
Of course it is. They all voted no. Every single one of them voted against the tax cuts. And Liz, in Tennessee, the tax cuts are working. People are so excited. Wages are up. They have been able to see their hours grow. I was on the floor of a manufacturing plant last week. They said, hey, look at all this new equipment. We're going to fill out a third shift. Orders are increasing. They're even looking at export opportunities. That is what you call real economic growth. It's working, and I'm so pleased the president was touting it.
But, Congresswoman, what's going on with who controls the narrative here? Because in the past, they would be criticized as Walter Mondale tax-raising Democrats. Now they're not, because with the midterm elections coming in, Democrats are pushing the idea that tax cuts benefit the wealthy and rich corporations, so we should raise taxes. I mean, talk like that would have guaranteed a loss in the midterms. Now it looks like that's not even hurting the Democrats at the polls. What's going on here?
I think it will hurt the Democrats at the polls, because when you're talking to hardworking taxpayers, they know that there's a lot of noise and chatter that is out there on the liberal media, and they get it. They get it. They know that at the end of the month, there is more money in their paycheck. There is more money in their banking account. And as one of my constituents said at Mule Day in Columbia, Tennessee, that he used to have too much month at the end of the money. Now he's got a little money at the end of that month.
That's funny.
And so this is the difference that it is making. And Nancy Pelosi might think it's crumbs, and others might think it just benefits the big guys. But what hardworking taxpayers know is they have more hours. They are making more per hour. The days of wage stagnation is over. And not only do they have a better job, their friends and neighbors are getting jobs and getting back to work.
I mean, when you saw small businesses all-in tax rates of 80% under Obama, you think, holy Toledo. Let's move on to this story. Former Obama Attorney General Loretta Lynch now firing back at former FBI Director James Comey. Here's what's going on. In James Comey's new book, he claims that Loretta Lynch asked him to describe the Hillary Clinton email probe as a, quote, matter, as if this is the FBI Federal Bureau of Matters rather than an investigation. But here is Loretta Lynch firing back. She's saying this, quote, throughout his time as director, we spoke regularly about some of the most sensitive issues in law enforcement and national security. If he had any concerns about this email investigation, classified or not, he had ample opportunities, plenty of opportunities to raise them with me, both privately and in meetings. He never did. I mean, so what do you make of this, Congressman? Lynch is saying, you know what, James Comey, stop throwing me under the bus. You never talked to me about this. What do you think?
I think this is a classic Washington, D.C. swamp. He said, she said. And we'll figure out there are investigations going on around this. And quite frankly, Liz, I am surprised that Jim Comey's got a book out here during the middle of an investigation. So now you have the Loretta Jim drama that is going to play out. Let the investigation decide which one of them is telling the truth, and the other one should be held accountable and punished appropriately for actions. I think the one thing that is settled after all of this with Comey is we know who did meddle in the elections, and it was Jim Comey.
You know, Congressman, remember, it was Comey himself who critics have said had the audacity to declare on his own, he was judge and jury, that Hillary Clinton had no intent to basically break the rules. And throughout this, you heard Comey saying, oh, I felt nauseated about this, I felt queasy about this, that, and the other thing. Do you think, thinking this through, that Comey was so unsettled and uncomfortable with his own decision-making that maybe, just maybe, he's trying to now place the blame and point the finger at others because perhaps he knows he should have done more with the Hillary investigation?
Well, he probably has a little bit of buyer's remorse, and he wants to clear his name. But what he has done is to politicize the agency and politicize his actions. We know that his family was very involved in the Clinton campaign, and we know that there are investigations around all of this, and it's unfortunate that he is taking his time to whine in public and express these opinions, and I think that we're all well served to let these investigations complete.
This is a clear example, Congressman. Quickly, we have to go. You have to have a person who's right down the middle, filled with integrity at the top of an institution like the FBI, because how that person behaves and what they think sets the standards for inside the FBI. And you're right, you saw it gradually get politicized. That was a problem, right?
That's exactly right. I think you have to remember, in organizations, you lead people and you manage assets.
Right.
Jim Comey has proven that he was incapable of leading people that were there in the agency.